Hello, I lost a lot of footage just now, so I'm having to re-record this intro. This video is about some floral perfumes. It is really becoming spring now, finally. So I wanted to explore some floral perfumes with you, and we have one that's really good, one that's bad, and one that's amazing. And my friend Valentina, Fragrant Tickles, sent me two of these perfumes and a few other samples that I'm not talking about today. But I really wanted to explore these because I think they are worth your attention. Even the bad one, I still think it's worth knowing about, and it might even be for you just because it's not for me. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Starting to think working outside or filming outside is just not worth it. The battery died. Now I've had to get an extension lead to charge the camera, and of course some fucker starts making noise just as we start filming. Hopefully the background music is not too annoying. It's not that loud, to be fair. They're entitled to play music in their gardens. It's just inconvenient. So where was I? I was talking about my friend Valentina, and she sent me these samples, and I had to talk to you about them because they've all got me a little bit excited. Actually, one of the samples is not from Valentina. Of course, this video is entitled The Good, the Bad and the Amazing, and actually the good is, believe it or not, going to be a full bottle worthy fragrance for me. It's going to be one that is going right to the top of my wish list. The amazing, I'm not sure if I actually need to buy the amazing one, but I do think it's amazing. And then the bad is not really that bad. It's just not that good. So they're all florals. We're going to start with the bad, and I'm going to put all of them on my skin because there's only three. I'm not wearing anything at the moment. So with the first one, and it is this one here, it's called Quelques Fleurs Jardin Secret, and it's from Houbigant. So I'm going to go straight onto my hand. This is actually where I wore it last night when I was sniffing it. I've tried it on my skin a couple of times and formed my opinions. These are not full in-depth reviews because I don't know these fragrances that well, but I just wanted to share my thoughts with you because I think they're all worth your attention potentially, especially if you like floral fragrances. So I've got my notes here. Houbigant, Quelques Fleurs Jardin Secret. Another thing about being outside, my hair, plus the mousse I'm wearing today on my hair is not very strong, so it's very, very fly away. Houbigant Quelques Fleurs Jardin Secret was released in 2017. The nose is Luca Maffei. I'm sure many of you will have heard of that one. Notes are Bergamot, Yellow Mandarin, Neroli, Magnolia, Narcissus, Rose, Jasmine, Iris, Orange Blossom, Ylang-Ylang, Sandalwood, White Amber and Modern Musks. 100ml bottle is £140, so I think the price is okay. I don't know if they do smaller bottles. I just had a quick look and that's what I found. And I love the sound of the notes. They sound like perfection. Oh, thank you to my friend Chris for giving me this sample. My friend Chris, who I met up with a little while ago, he said, did I want this sample? I said, oh, that looks nice. Yes, please. So thank you to Chris for this sample. So the notes sound amazing. You've got all these really vibrant, exciting florals. These are all the florals that I really enjoy, especially, and then the iris. I don't see iris as a floral because it comes from the root and it doesn't really smell exactly like a flower, although it has some violet nuances. It has some floral nuances, but to me iris isn't a floral, a typical floral. But I love all of these florals. We've got yellows and whites and probably some other colours. When you first spray it, the florals aren't as vibrant and voluptuous and rich as you might expect from those kind of florals. It's more delicate, more like what you would think of as a bridal bouquet, very kind of soft, muted, understated, pretty and powdery. Definitely get the citrusy in that top note, but it's blending with these florals, but underlying everything, even though it's a base note, I can smell these sort of clean white woods and this musky, clean muskiness. And I think this is where the problem lies for me. These clean white woods smell quite synthetic, and in the further dry down they almost lend it like a chemical hairspray note, certainly on my skin. Sometimes iris can do that as well, so it could be the iris, it could be the white woods, it could be the synthetic musks, but altogether the dry down is a bit of a failure. The opening I think is very pretty, because you have this mixture of florals. Nothing really stands out amongst them all. It just feels like a mixture of mostly white florals with this powdery soft muskiness, which is very nice. And I can pick up the iris mixing in with it all as well, but that underlying white woods thing is a bit, I suspect the sandalwood is not sandalwood, it's probably a molecular sandalwood, and there might be a touch of isoe super. I'm not 100% certain on that, but there's some what smell to me like clean synthetic white woods accord kind of thing. I did have a look on Fragrantica and there's mixed reviews, but there's a few people that say the same as me, that it's quite synthetic. And they don't know whether, some people are attributing it to the white musks or the clean musks. But generally speaking, I think it does say on the information on the sample, it does actually say that it's a modern olfactive interpretation of a beautiful garden. And I think when you see the word modern here, it does read to me as in modern molecular olfactive notes or ingredients. And I mean, there's nothing really irritating in here for me. I could happily wear this and really enjoy it, but I just don't love that synthetic clean white woods thing. It's just a little slightly jarring, but there's nothing like Amber Max, Amber Extreme. There's nothing like what's in designer perfumes in blue bottles, nothing like that. It's very classy, it's understated, it's nice, but I just wish the florals were more natural smelling and more vibrant, instead of, it's like they're all really muted. It's like they're covered in white powder, and then of course the clean woods thing. So for me, it's not something that I'm interested in buying, but it was promising and I do think it's nice, but yeah, not for me. And price wise, I don't think that's too bad. 100 mils, £140, not too bad. And there will be definitely people out there that do like it, but it's just not for me. So we're going to move on then to the good. Let's move on to the good. So this one is a fragrance from 2016. The Eau de Parfum is from 2016. It's a Chanel Lay exclusive, and the original fragrance came out in 2008, and that was an EDT, and it's Chanel Beige. So this is the sample that my lovely friend Valentina sent me. She's actually sent me this sample before, because I luckily just found it, so I've got 2 samples of it. And I think last time I must have said I think I did say to Valentina, this is really nice, and then I forgot about it. So Beige, we're going to go on here, and this is one that I want to buy, but not at full retail. The retail price, since Chanel increased their prices, Les Exclusives in the UK, it's £215 for 75 millilitres. That's not a lot. £375 200 ml. It's a bit much. I don't think it's worth the price at retail, but because it's been out for a while, bottles are coming up secondhand on various, you know, Facebook groups and eBay and what have you. So I'm not going to rush, or like, I kind of keep looking every day, so I probably will buy one quite soon. I really like this. It's not like I really crave it and I absolutely have to have it, but I really like it. It's very comforting. So the notes are frangipani, honey, freesia and hawthorn. Nose Jacques Polge. For me, I find, I don't know, hawthorn I think smells a little bit like mimosa, because to me I get more of a mimosa like scent from this, but only subtly at a certain point, because I find a strong mimosa sickly and nauseating. I like it done very subtle. Mimosa is like a yellow, powdery sort of honeyed floral, so that would fit with the honey note. And to me, I don't get like a real life honey note, which is good, because I don't love a realistic honey note in fragrance. I find it too much, and it can also go pissy on some people's skin. Rather, this is honeyed florals, so they're like, so you've got a frangipani flower, which is a tropical floral similar to the tiara flower. It's a tropical sort of exotic white floral, but it's honeyed. And then it's not a tropical fragrance, because it's all very smooth and clean and musky, so I get soapiness, but only subtly soapy and creamy, and at the same time very musky, clean, musky, like warm skin, like skin that's just used the most beautiful products. I really like the opening, but it's this muskiness that really takes over in the dry down that I truly fall for. This is a very sophisticated and classy fragrance, not just saying that because it's Chanel, because I don't think everything Chanel does is sophisticated and classy, but I do really think that this has a little bit of a mature, sophisticated feel. So it's not like a typical beachy fragrance that smells like suntan lotion or Monoi oil. You know, there's no coconut. It's not fruity, so it's muted, because it is this sort of like, it's got this fluffy muskiness about it the whole time, and then that sort of soapiness as well. It doesn't smell massively complex, like it's going to take you on a journey, but it does change on your skin. As I say, at the opening, I feel is more floral, but also a little bit more on the soapy side, and then as it dries, this gorgeous sort of powdery muskiness comes through, but blends with the honeyed florals, and it's just beautiful. I don't think performance is amazing. I've worn it quite a few times from the samples that Valentina sent me, and I'm still not 100% certain that it's great in terms of projection and longevity, but I think it's good enough. I have a feeling, because I've only sampled it, so I haven't used a full bottle, and when you spray a full bottle you spray more. I have a feeling it might be one that I would respray after about 4 or 5 hours, just to get a little more oomph. But until I've got a full bottle, I'm going to reserve judgment on that, and I will be getting a full bottle. My tastes are changing. Usually I go for things that are more sweet than this, and there's definitely sweetness here from the florals and I guess the honey note, but to me it's honeyed florals. But usually I need added vanilla or added resins, or even a little bit of a sugary note. But there's none of that in here, so it is not a sugary sweet fragrance. The sweetness comes from the florals, and it's semi-natural smelling. It's almost like there's a contrast, like there's a sweetness, but there's something that sort of contrasts it and keeps it really classy. Like, this is the kind of fragrance that is absolutely office appropriate, that is appropriate for really any situation. It's never going to offend. So you're always going to smell clean and sophisticated and classy. It's not screechy. Coco Mademoiselle, for example, can be a little screechy, especially the original Eau de Parfum can be quite shouty as well. This is not like that. It's almost like you've just used really beautiful soap and very light skincare products, you know, body care products, but you have that floral, honeyed floral, just adding this very smooth sweetness to it, and then it just gets muskier, and the more musky it gets, the better it gets. It's a little different from my usual ballpark of sweeter florals, but I'm really digging it. I love it. So that's Chanel Les Exclusive Beige. Now we're going to move on to the Amazing. And this is a brand new release, or certainly this year, a 2024 release. And what was fun is that Valentina sent me 2 samples just labelled number 1 and number 2. And it was so fun to sort of just sniff them completely blind. And some of the things I said to Valentina about this perfume, number 1, we'll call it for now, is that I thought it was all natural. It smells sort of like it's got a raw edge to it. And I wondered if it might be a Hiram green fragrance. I wondered if it was going to be Moon Bloom, because it smelled to me like a tuberose. I actually said to Valentina it smells like a tuberose and or gardenia. It's one of those really rounded, quite evocative, exotic, naughty, white floral type scent, but with this really rough edge. And in my original notes about it, I said it had a vinyl / plastic note to it, which I then realised smelled a bit like cumin, but a smoky cumin, not a burger pit BO cumin. Anyway, you need to know what it is. It's called Un Bel Amour d'été Parfum d'Empire. The perfumer is Marc Antoine Corciato, and the notes are champaca, gardenia, turmeric, magnolia, cumin, sandalwood, ylang and vanilla. And we're going to spray this one on here. This is probably the boldest of the 3, and definitely the boldest of the 3. This one, the florals really are very voluptuous, very big, very bold, very sweet. I get a fruity nuance from, I think it's probably coming from the florals. I've got some gardenia essential oil diluted, and that's really fruity, so I wonder if it's coming from the fruitiness is coming from the gardenia. So it's not a specific fruitiness, but maybe if I was going to describe it, almost apricotty peachy nuance. But it's about the flowers and this really weird burning rubber type scent, which is, I believe, the cumin, but the cumin is not smelling exactly like cumin spice. If you go into the kitchen and smell it, it has attached itself to other ingredients in the perfume, and it's almost, it's like if you had orange blossom scented tires on your car and then you did a skid and you have the burning rubber smell. So it's this sweet burning rubber scent that I get in the opening, along with this big bold bouquet of very exotic florals. Definitely quite sweet, and it has a beachy vibe. So obviously quite a few florals again. Champaca, which I think is another version of Magnolia, and then you also have Magnolia listed again. Gardenia, Ylang-Ylang as well. So they're all beachy tropical florals, and this is a beachy kind of tropical scent, but it's not like all the others, because A, there's no coconut, B, there's this strange sort of burning sweet rubber note, which is more noticeable in the opening and slowly dies away as you wear it, but it does stay long enough that if it bothers you, you will not want to wear this perfume. The inspiration behind it was a summer of love. The perfumer he didn't go into too much detail. Could have been fun if he did. It describes one summer in his youth, one summer of love, and the fragrance is supposed to be carnal, and I wonder if that carnal element is the burning rubber scent. And I'm sure it's not supposed to smell like burning rubber, and it doesn't exactly, but it's difficult to describe. It's a sweet, slightly smoky, floral cumin. So it definitely doesn't smell like BO, but it is unusual. And it's not going to be for everyone, but this is the perfume that I have labelled amazing because it stands out because of this strange rubbery note. It really stands out, but it also remains beautiful. It smells, as I said to Valentina, I thought it was all natural. It smells really natural. The longevity is pretty good. I've worn it a couple of times now. It doesn't do a lot in terms of changing on my skin. It just gently fades away. The strange rubbery note does get more and more muted as time goes by. I've made some notes on this one. It smells like a mixture of exotic florals sweetened with a very light vanilla. I can't pick out specifically vanilla, so it is not a vanilla scent, but I think that the vanilla is mixing in with the florals just to make them a little sweeter. And it's almost like a hot spice. This sort of rubbery note is quite hot, and sort of, yeah, it's a hot spice. I said it's like a surface that's hot, and you've got moisture sort of evaporating into a mist on the top. It's almost tar-like, you know, pavement tar kind of thing. So imagine that they're laying a new road right next to a beach that's just lined with all these beautiful exotic tropical flowers. I've written down fascinating, exciting statement, and the flowers smell like they're very sweet, but they smell like they're naturally producing a sweet nectar. So it doesn't feel like anyone's added sugar into the mix or any synthetically sweet notes. It just feels like very rich, sweet, honeyed florals. The flowers are producing this sweet nectar. So honestly, I think it's an amazing perfume. Price wise, I think you need to know this. I don't think it's too bad. It's 130 euros for 50 ml, 190 euros for 100 ml. I think for the quality that I'm picking up on, and the unique aspect to, I mean, the fragrance itself is in a genre that we're all very familiar with, but throwing at it this unique aspect and the fact that it smells so natural, I massively recommend that you get your nose on it. Even if you think that strange cumin note might be jarring for you, if you can sample it, I think you'll be fascinated by it like I am, and you'll appreciate it. If you appreciate quality fragrance and you're sick of this mass market niche amber max and ambroxan up to the max and all of that stuff, if you're sick of all of that like I am, this is a fragrance that you should get your nose on, just to get your nose on it, not necessarily to buy it. I'm not here trying to push anyone to buy anything, but I think if you like discovering great fragrances, then this is certainly one I would highly recommend you try. And honestly, I might buy this one as well. I'm concentrating on Chanel Beige first, but I might need to buy Un Bel Amour d'été, and the company's called Parfum d'Empire. I don't hear much about this company, and I think I've only found one other person that's spoken about this fragrance on YouTube. So, you know, it's not hyped, and that's a good thing, isn't it? It's nice to have something no one else is talking about or has. But yeah, I absolutely do really love this, so check it out if you can. I don't know how you go about getting samples. You have to just search. Go and search. But that is it. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for being with me. Let me know what are your most interesting or beautiful or highly recommended floral fragrances that we should all be checking out, and then everyone can look in the comments and check each other's recommendations out. I'll see you later. Bye.